All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Bullets, Barbells, and Barbecue. It's me, Brett, as always. Mike is here for one of the last few times, hopefully the last time. And Matt is here. He's back in action, bum, shoulder, and all. So
You got that lifted, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's talk about your shoulder. What'd you do?
I think the official description is a something clavicular resection.
Don't understand.
Right, big words, big
I heard
words.
clitoral.
That was taken out a long time ago.
Okay.
Or it's just packed with sand.
Okay,
But-
all right.
So essentially what happened is the collarbone goes out, goes into the shoulder. The end of the collarbone was super gnarly with a bunch of arthritis and like knobs and stuff, and had roughly a ½ inch to 3/4 inch extra just like arthritis and bullshit around it, so there wasn't enough room for it to move. So any pressure on it, just constant pain. It rubbed on the little tendon connector above it, so it just fucking hurt all the time. So what they did is they made a little incision. They just come right through here, go in with like it looks like one of those multi-tools that you cut like holes in drywall, and there's like and they cut that piece out, grab some forceps, go in there.
You're
And took it
completely out for this thing, right?
Yeah, I'm totally out. They gave me the option to stay awake, kind of. They said it's super weird because they drape you, and so you're just covered in drapes, and it's like all over your face, and your head's kind of turned sideways and weird.
I could use an app like that.
Yeah, the pre-surgery, though, was fucking great. I was all high on Dilaudid playing catch with a numbed arm because they give you this injection. So the guy comes in and he's going to do the nerve block, and due to some government regulation, they limit just the total amount of nerve block agent they give you, regardless of size. So I go in, have this done. I get the same amount that they're going to give Aaron, who's half
Really?
my size, probably less than.
Well, that's not going to do anything.
No, and so he goes, "Well, I mean, you got big nerve canals, like it'll do something." And so I'm sitting here in the pre-surgery, just fucking looped up on Dilaudid, which is phenomenal stuff. Like I get why people like it. And this arm's just slowly going numb, and I'm losing function. And Erin's over there with a stress ball, and we're trying to play catch, and she's just fucking throwing missiles
Is
at
that
my face.
to move your arm to get it going? Or?
No, like I'm not supposed to be doing that.
Oh, okay.
But they numb it so that post-surgery doesn't hurt as bad.
Yeah.
And stuff. But it took probably 45 minutes for it to go mostly numb. So I'm just slowly losing the ability to like move my hand, and I'm trying to catch this like stress ball that she's fucking rocking at my face.
This is like your 20th surgery, then.
Yeah. And my next one's free though.
I was going to say, do you have a punch card?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the topic of today is what?
What training has taught me about life?
Surgeries are great.
Dilaudid's cool. Propofol's cool. Like all that stuff's cool.
That's the Michael Jackson killer.
Right.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, his doctor helped him take a nap forever. Catch up on the sleep with the propofol, and then
That
gone.
sounds good.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Lost an icon.
Yeah. So that's what it was. I got a cool video of it though, which at first was kind of gnarly.
Oh, it's disgusting.
It's super cool though. There's just like a fucking hole in my shoulder.
You know what would have
And
been
he's
cooler
like,
is if they would have let you cut it out
Right?
with your offhand.
Right? I'm like, just
Yeah.
help guide me. Help
Yeah.
guide me.
Corey
I asked
was
if I
like
could
his
keep
shoulder's
it,
so
though.
big it looks like they're doing something on an ass cheek. And I was like, that's fucking funny. You can't see anything. It's just a big round
Yeah.
piece of meat.
Yeah, they said as soon as because it was like so like inflamed and like he used the word vascular, but probably not in a good way. Probably just a bunch of fat tissue and blood going through there. But he said like they just cut it and immediately went and just started gooing blood everywhere. They're like, oh no. Okay.
Yeah, that's because your blood pressure was high.
You had so much
No,
nitrous.
I took my
no
pill.
explode before.
Actually, I did not take my pill the night before, so it probably was a little high. It was
Which
probably
pill?
like Milosartan for blood pressure. So that's probably like
You're on blood pressure medicine?
270 over 190.
You're on blood pressure, man. You really are fat. I'm not even on that.
Yeah, that's because
You're not?
I'm a
You
peak
don't even know if
performance.
you should be on it because you haven't got tested in.
Yeah,
I went to the doctor
decade.
last year.
what'd they say?
No.
Health.
Alive.
Yeah, I said a triglycerides PR. Remember, my triglycerides were like 400. And he
And
wasn't.
he
He
blamed it
wasn't.
on like the turkey bacon the day of.
No,
right?
I ate bacon that morning because my fucking
Yeah.
test wasn't until like 1, and I was like, "Well, I'm not going to starve to death."
Yeah.
But my
Can't lose your gains.
but my cholesterol was only like 190, so he didn't care.
That's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, otherwise he said that he wanted to use me for a poster in his office for health.
Yeah.
Like the the what nots to do's.
Right. Yeah, that's fine.
Whatever, man. Me
You got a
and
big
Ozzy
back
Osbourne.
though.
Me and
Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne, just the fucking medical marvels.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look healthier when you lift. Like he sounds better when he sings.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But yeah,
There's a lot of things that I think that lifting's taught in a lot of different dimensions, and I don't know where to start. Like mentally, physically, drive. What I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of areas. I
so
can
what
keep
are you going
ripping
to start
on.
with?
Well, all right, I'll just pick one. I think I was thinking a little bit ago that it's taught me a lot of patience after you kind of mature in training a little bit, and not everything is so successful in a handful of weeks. It could be a couple of years or a decade to get better at something, you know? And I feel like it's taught me, and as far as training goes, to be patient in training is to enjoy training itself, and it's a part of my day and something that I have to do to take care of myself, that it's a priority. So it's really taught me to take care of myself and be patient with that care and to do it for as long and as healthy as possible. To
Yeah,
avoid
'cause like if you don't train for a while, you're just probably an asshole.
Oh, I'm terrible. If
Yeah.
I don't train, I train usually 4 days a week, and if I miss a day, that's all I think about.
Right.
And I'm not good.
That's
like,
the
to be
trend,
around.
though.
No.
Yeah, because you look like you missed like at least 3 weeks.
I
I
had-
saw you at your pool this weekend.
oh yeah, it's just full of alcohol and fast food. However, a bench PR did happen yesterday. Probably my last in this gym.
What was it?
350.
What was it before?
I don't know, handful of pounds.
It was actually
less.
pretty easy. I watched him do it.
Why
But it
didn't you
felt
do
good.
more?
Well, I don't know. So what it taught me, Matt, is patience. So, I mean, that's a big one. But I think that in general, planning for something, it's taught me to be a better planner. Like, you know, getting ready for a meet or a show or something like that, and having to know what you have to do to be successful and putting those things in order mentally has really taught me that too, because you're ultimately responsible for your own success. And there's no, you can, I actually heard Jim Windler say this a long time ago, and he was saying, if everything in your life is going like shit, the one thing that you can control is how you train. So like, family stuff could be fucked up, friends could be fucked up, you know, work stuff could suck, and you're just a lot of stressors, but you can control what you do at the gym, and you are in complete control of that, and that's a good marker to have something.
It is 100%.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's great. I mean, because a lot of times it's not just training or trying to be stronger or whatever. It is, I think for most people, there is therapy involved for sure. Like we just kind of need it. I mean, I feel like I do mentally. Like I need to train to feel better. You know, I can't just not.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably more applicable to a lot of guys in general. Like if you look at, I can't cite any specific research, but listening to individuals much smarter than me talk about males and stuff, like we work through stuff physically. So like if something is shitty, like I know when I was coming up in my career, I worked a fucking ton. And I was doing a bunch of shit, just trying to make a name for myself and like grow in the company, mostly so I could make more money, but like doing a bunch of shit. And the most productive, successful times I had at work coincided with my most consistent, best training times
100%
here.
agree. Yep.
Like those two things went hand in hand. Like if something was off in either one of those, then the other one suffered.
Absolutely.
But like the more I focused and kept either one of those on point,
Mm-hmm.
then it was like, cool. All right, I'm making progress here. I'm getting better in the gym. I'm getting better at work. I'm getting shit done. I'm getting
Mm-hmm.
smarter. And I extended to like stuff outside of life. Like relationships were better. The extra stuff I wanted to do to like grow and develop outside of work was fucking better. Like just in general life,
Yeah.
it was better. Like
I think
that
having some kind of
consistency.
control with that really helps you feel like you can have more control on the externals outside of training, right?
Yeah.
Like you're a little bit more in control, and control's not a bad thing to have, especially if it's for you, for improvement, you know, not being
Yeah.
a jerk.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that it took me a while to get good with it, and I probably went too far to one way, was like, but to be relaxed and like have fun. Like I always enjoyed training. I
Yeah.
liked training. It was fun. But I always was like, oh, I got to be serious and I got to do this because I got to meet or I'm going to try to do this. I'm like,
Right.
motherfucker, you're going to do nothing. Like, I'm not
You
breaking
suck
any
compared to
records.
most, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not breaking any records. I'm just out here to see what I can do and have fun. And like when I started to slack into like that was a long time ago, but 2015, 2016, that like year and a half, you, me, and Craig trained.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
we did West Side for like a year and a half almost, maybe close to 2 years. And that was so much fun. Like every single day was great. I mean, it helped that Brett and I were pretty comparable on most of the lifts, except for squat, because I don't do that because that hurts.
What'd you do? Walk?
I just lunged.
That's when we
you know?
tested simple strength too.
Yeah. Yeah, we ran through
Oh,
like
yeah,
a number
it
of
does not
iterations
make
on that, and we get halfway through and we'd just be crushed. I'm like, okay, hold on.
What about you?
I think the importance of good, like reliable people and finding out like who you can trust to be there. Like you learn a lot of who will be there and who you can trust to be there. And you like, I don't know, I think you really find out like who your friends are.
Oh yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? Because if you're gonna do well, you need like super good like training partners around you. Like I said, me and Matt and Craig trained, or that Matt had said that. And I mean, you could always rely on those guys to be there, and it teaches you a whole. That's I think like and as you get older, you learn your friend circle gets smaller, and who you can actually rely on. And that's where you kind of learn that whole thing. You know, not all families by blood, because those
Yeah.
people are there with like terrible terrible training days, or somebody gets hurt, or I mean, we talked about that long ago. There was a day that I don't even know what was going on. It was pretty just working, somebody in the gym doing something stupid, and I was like a super asshole to Matt and Drew, like for really no reason.
Here?
Yeah, just
I
for
don't
like
remember what it was, but
no
it was like-
reason.
we were like,
Were you
"Fuck off,
training?"
man?
No, this was like they were working out and I was working, but somebody in the gym was like just being like a piece
Yeah,
of
it
shit,
was-
like
I don't-
something
yeah.
happened.
And so you lit up Matt and Drew?
No,
No, like we made some comment like we normally would make a jab.
Yeah.
And he just like
Had
fired
enough of it
back,
that
and we were
day.
like, "Whoa!"
Usually you're the
easy
best
there.
at taking shit or
Yeah.
shits.
yeah. So and I mean I apologized to him like that night or
Yeah.
later on, but I also, I mean, I've been friends with them forever. I knew that, just sometime if they had a bad time, I'd understand that too. But you figure out like who your friends are like that. You know what I mean? Like obviously Drew moved away, but
All the good ones do.
that's not true. Just because you're moving doesn't mean. I mean, most people won't even notice that you're gone. I don't even think that we'll notice.
You might not. You
I mean,
might
yeah.
not.
I don't. Sometimes I don't even know that you're here.
Sometimes I avoid you when I come in here.
Yeah, that's probably the best for everybody, really.
Yeah, if you're gonna bite my head off for having a good time, I guess I'm never coming back.
Yeah, but I think the friendships you build out of the gym, and Ed had said that one time too. It's some of the best times in his life were at the gym, and I think you learn
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You learn that in training too. Like Matt said, have fun because that's where like a lot of your good times are going to come from, and the best stories you're going to tell are going to come out of the gym. But and like you had said too, like patience. Like it takes forever, and that's what I think a lot of like newer lifters are going to struggle with.
We've
that.
talked about that too before. Like guys that last for a year or two, get good genetics, good genes, and then they're done. You
Well, yeah,
know?
we all come in like hot and heavy, and we're like fucking every week's a PR. Especially if you're doing
Yeah.
West Side. Fuck, it might be like 3 years of PRs because you're rotating exercises so much that you're just like, this is lifting's so great. Who doesn't want to fucking lift every day? And then when you're not making a PR or you go backwards or
In for your 20th surgery.
yeah, just
because you
like-
weren't training.
just because you like the drugs that they give you to fucking put you down.
This so
Hey,
good.
hey, babe, hit me with a car so I can go to the hospital and get some
Oh,
drugs.
man. This has been like the best surgery because the recovery is
You
super
just
easy.
benched with me. You
Yeah.
just hit 405 pretty casually. And You
Yeah.
hadn't benched in like a month or two.
Yeah.
Did that hurt?
Oh,
Did
yeah.
that-
It fucking
did it
kills.
really?
Yeah. Like, yeah, although those couple little bench sessions that we did in there was
Yeah.
fucking terrible. Tearing me up.
I think that doing just doing hard shit together with a group of people, it seems like predominantly men. When men do hard shit together, they just bond more
Yeah.
and become closer friends.
Right. And some of the training stuff goes back to like having the opportunity to do stuff like that. It's a story that it involves some other people, but they told it to me. But essentially, they were going out partying one night, and there was a bunch of them in town, and they were going to go out and just get wasted. Like one of those good nights that you're just sitting around drinking, and it's like, okay, we're doing this. And one of the guys was like, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. We got St. Patty's Day coming up because he wanted to get hammered on St. Patty's Day. So he stayed away from going out and partying and making these great memories that he's never going to remember with really good friends
Yeah.
because he was saving it. So like the saying is like, don't save it for St. Patty's Day.
That's
So
right,
there's stuff
yeah.
like the benching with you, or like if I go out to see Drew,
Yep.
like squatting mostly out of the question. Pulling fucking hurts me. Benching hurts.
Running
But
farmers across
yeah,
a couple
the
acres.
running like that was fucking terrible. My shoulder felt like
Yeah,
it was
that's
just
a
going
cool
to tear
story,
off.
though, you know?
Right, but it's like you get these opportunities to do things with these cool people.
Yeah.
And it's like, sure, am I going to be miserable? Yeah. I mean, if I knew that I was going to like blow out my ACL doing something, probably wouldn't, depending on the situation. But given those circumstances, like training with those people and knowing what those other people have gone through to train what they've put in, fuck yeah, I'm going to do it. Like, yeah, maybe it wrecks me for a couple of days, but that's
Yeah.
fine. Totally worth it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many cool, even like experiences we've had, like traveling for competitions or just going to local meets or the meets we've put on here and just the
Yeah.
times we out. But I mean, that none of those. That's probably one thing. The way you could sum like some of the best memories are made in the gym, but you learn that like you're going to go through some struggles with it.
Yeah. That's why anyone that steps on the platform, and I say platform, but competition,
Yeah.
whatever it is, whatever you're doing, if you go out and compete, you are automatically leveled up in my eyes. Like I've not that I have this huge platform to like elevate people to, but immediately I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, your
'Cause, like,
respect level changes.
yeah, I've been there. I've been around people who've been there, and like I've
Yep.
been involved with it. So whatever you're competing in, you put yourself out there, and you're like, I don't know if I can do this, but fuck it, I'm gonna try. Immediately.
But then,
level up.
as soon as you step off the platform and act like a total fucking douche, that respect level goes all the way back down again.
It's not guaranteed. It's not,
Oh, okay.
yeah, you can lose it, but it's like anyone that like when Barbell first started having meets here, and there were just a shitload of first timers, or like people who
Yeah.
train for, maybe they've been training for like a year, and then they got suckered into doing it. Like those people, automatically, I'm like, fuck yeah, man,
Yeah.
get after it, do it. That's fucking great.
That's where you learn. I think that's where that training was one thing, like general fitness stuff was one thing. We've all kind of just dicked around with general fitness stuff before you might have competed or something like that, right? I mean,
Oh, we were all bodybuilders at one point.
well,
Everybody-
I
that's how everybody starts out.
You're still vascular, apparently.
Yeah, the doctor said that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
So
Super vascular.
yeah, check that
Yeah,
box.
blood
They
pressure
call it
super high.
varicose veins.
and blood pressure. He didn't take his pill.
Oh, yeah, if I want to get super jacked, I don't take my blood pressure for a couple
yeah.
days.
Hearing the
Eat real
ocean
fatty
bounce
food.
around in between your ears.
Oh, right. I can hear the ocean.
Fuck.
But yeah, like the general fitness stuff, I think at least started to put me into a position where I felt like it needed to be somewhat of a part of my day. But once I started competing and meeting people that had similar interests like that, and how serious they took it, serious in a way that I'm going to power lift. I'm
Yeah.
not just trying to build a bench. I'm trying to power lift, or I'm trying to do whatever it is. And there's just a lot of assistance there. I think that once I started to have more of a goal around I'm going to compete at my first contest or whatever, that really changed a lot of things for me too. Just,
It learns you to it teaches you to set a goal
yeah.
and go after it.
And now I
just
can do
so
that
fun.
with outside of the gym. I can look at something like financially or career-wise or whatever, and I'll look at that and be like, I think I can get there. I just have to have a plan. Everything takes that.
Well,
I'll just
and
do
I
it.
think that's one of the things you learn too is that I've lost. You learn in the gym is that not everything, one setback isn't the end of the world. Like, because you're gonna have fucking all kinds of them in training. Like, you're gonna have
Oh,
terrible
yeah.
training days. You're gonna have injuries.
I had a bad one today.
You're gonna have and you just got to figure out how to adapt and overcome. Basically, I always joke around and tell people that like chaos training or it's adapt and overcome, but like you have
Sometimes
to learn.
it's just fucking hard work.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to put in the extra work. Or like this morning, I had no desire to do anything, but then I still did some stuff. Now, granted, it helps having training partners that are friends, because otherwise
Yeah.
I probably would have sat at the desk and looked at stupid shit on the internet.
Yeah.
But you have the training partners to motivate you and keep pushing you through those. Like, I'm not gonna do anything. I don't really give a fuck today.
Like I don't like to do shit in the gym that I don't enjoy in general. I know there's stuff that's hard that'll make me better. That's a different thing. But I won't do CrossFit because I don't enjoy it. But I understand why people are addicted to it because they enjoy it.
Yeah.
But to have training partners, like you're saying, you enjoyed squatting today, even though you weren't planning on really doing much.
Yeah, and it's always fun because you're just kind of bullshit in between sets,
Oh yeah.
and and that's where you learn about your friends because you actually have a conversation with them in fucking person, which like most people
Oh,
don't
you weren't
anymore.
texting while you're training?
Yeah, I didn't talk to them through fucking my
Words.
headset on Twitch or whatever the fuck. The person in China that I've never met before. Like these
Are
are
you on
actually
Twitch?
like no,
Have you been on Twitch?
I don't even know.
I have a Twitch.
There's a bunch of adult porn stars who are on Twitch.
Is that one of your goals from training?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Other
To meet
sources of
one
income.
or to be one?
Be one.
Nice.
So I'm on Twitch. I'm just looking to get the adult porn star part.
So yeah, no, I'm not on Twitch. But yeah, actually, like, you learn to fucking talk to people, and if you're a decent human, you actually, I think, in the gym you learn like manners, because decent people in the gym will call you out for doing shitty things, and then you learn like, oh, that's kind of fucked up to do that, or like, oh, hey, maybe I should put this shit away, or I should do this.
Or I
better.
should wash my stuff.
Ooh,
Oh yeah,
I know the guy.
yeah, that guy.
We all know that guy.
Oh man, he's an avid listener, I bet.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it teaches you. It's just crazy how it'll teach you so much about life, just like the hard work that life is going to be and can be, but you just got to keep fucking going.
Yeah, failing in the gym and I'll still get pissed, right, about missing
Well, it's like every
something.
day, I suppose, for you.
Yeah, just putting on my slippers to go to the gym and missing.
Yeah, you think failure after failure, you'd be okay with it by now, but
But yeah, so like I've definitely gotten better with it. I get frustrated with I think more technical things now that I'm older than it is about being like bigger and stronger because it's whatever. But if there's something I know that I did stupid on a lift, I'm like, why the fuck did I do that? You know what I mean? Like I know so much better. Like I shouldn't have done that. But even then, I can kind of technically convince myself like it's just a technical thing. It's not because of I haven't been training hard enough or whatever. I know what that is to fix it and don't have to stress about it and I can move on. But earlier in training, just not seeing results quickly I just hated it, I don't even know why people enjoy this shit.
well, like one of the disappointing things is when you do something and you've been doing it forever, and then you know exactly what you did wrong, and you're just like, fuck. You're like, but I don't really give a fuck. Like, we were squatting this morning, and I was like, that fucking felt terrible on my back. And the next set, I just got my back really tight, and then I was like, oh, yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Like you forgot and you do that every time
Yep.
you train.
Like, you just get like fucking lazy because it's just like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's why that felt like fucking trash.
Yeah. It's repeatable shit.
So you learn so much that like, it's that whole thing where like, I forgot more than some people know. That people say that, that saying. Yeah, and I just like forget shit.
I
Like,
probably spilt more whiskey than you've drank in your life.
that's probably true.
Yeah, on my laptop.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people call that a problem. Mike calls that a Thursday.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Look at this.
Yeah. Hitting them beers.
On a Wednesday, back again Thursday. I think there's a rapper says something like that. Go
Yeah.
up on a Tuesday, down on a Wednesday, something like that.
Who's Wednesday?
From the
Nice.
Adams Family, dummy.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Idiot.
Now I'm tracking.
Yeah. I think perseverance too is another like major lesson. Like if you just keep going, like things will get better. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like your job. If you truly in most jobs, if you do work hard, you can get ahead. You know what I mean? Like you'll get better at it. You'll get further along in it. And same with training. If you're smart, which most of us train like idiots in the beginning, but if you're smart and you train
Not
correctly,
me.
yeah.
I'm just injury prone.
He didn't even make it through the beginning.
Never made it out of the tutorial.
They stamped his form over there as they left the hospital this time.
Yeah, weak things break. I think that was a sign for him.
Yeah, it's a warning.
Yeah.
It's a warning.
Just a reminder.
Yeah.
You should put fucking on your other arm. You should put fragile.
Handle with care. Yeah. That's what's going to go on the rest of this.
Yeah,
Fragile, handle with care.
fragile. It's Italian. It's for fancy.
There's so many things. I think that they do just pile up into generally how to move forward in any situation.
Yeah.
You figure it out. I really think though that I just wish that more people trained at all, like went on a walk or got some sun or like whatever they wanted to do, they will just feel so much better to be more productive every day that they'll just grow so much. Like you said, the work thing. I mean, family relationships, all that stuff. I just wish people did more. You don't have to compete. I prefer that you did, but just do something. There's just so many people that just don't do anything.
Well, like one of the best things about like strength sports is, like basketball. Like if you're gonna go, you play basketball like 3 or 4 days a week, and you're like, I don't really want to go play basketball today. That's your only choice, right? But if it's like a strength sport, you can come to the gym and be like, hey, I'm supposed to like max out today, but I'm just gonna like do some high rep stuff. Mm-hmm. You can change it on the fly, and at least you're still doing something. You're still in that community of people. Where some of the other sports, you're just kind of limited. You know what I mean? You're like, well, I've got a baseball game, so.
But I really want to play basketball today, but that won't help my baseball game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which actually, crazy. Back in the day, the old like Soviets, that's how they would like off-season train some of their athletes.
What, with basketball?
Like, they would have like, there's an article I read where they had like the soccer team go play basketball because it still works on like your coordination and shit like that. And it's a way of conditioning where they're just having fun with it because they didn't normally play that sport.
Yeah.
So they had like a ton of fun, and like they don't realize that they've been like sprinting their ass off playing basketball.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of sprinting, we got to do this.
Oh
race.
yeah. So fucking.
I did the math,
Mike
and I think
claims he can run a 400
stop
in 45. You heard
Yeah,
45
45
seconds.
seconds.
because I was drinking, and he said
45
120, and I was just like, naturally, I'm probably faster.
Father Ross is here and says no, and he's got it the inside track.
Yeah.
No pun
He's
intended.
probably the most athletic human in the room.
Yeah, he probably.
Zero chance. That's what he just held up. Zero fucking chance. He didn't say the fucking part. I did.
My ego exploded. And
I said a minute 30 that Matt and I could run a.
and
fucking,
I
could
quickly
run it in.
cut that bitch in half, and I said I'll do it way faster.
I think a minute 30 is
Isn't a
doable.
world record speed's got to be between 45 and 50, right?
that might be me, and you don't even know it yet.
Yeah, when I was in
No, I
middle
know.
school, I ran like a minute 5 or a minute 7.
Yeah.
So I was like, a minute 30, I think is doable.
Yeah, because I thought like,
Yeah. So see, I'm slower than
yeah,
that.
This
so
guy.
you're not even
That's
world
slow.
record. Yeah.
I'm slower than that.
I told him
didn't
he couldn't run 145
know.
seconds.
Obviously, I don't know what a track looks like.
Dude, that was always funny. We'd start track practice in high school, and I remember you go like the first day, and because we'd always have to jog like 2 laps to warm up, and I was like, the track just seemed like so fucking monstrously
Terrible.
big.
Terrible.
But then by the end of the track season, you're just like, ah, well, whatever. You just fucking jogged him quick, and like,
Ugh.
wasn't a big deal.
So to this point, training's taught me how to talk shit very well.
Here's what will help people in training, like to joke around. At least be able to do something. You don't have to be the strongest guy in the room, but at least
Yeah.
have like
Oh yeah.
something that you do that's respectable before you talk shit to people.
Yeah. Like what?
That's something you learn also.
True. You'll get put in your place real quick.
Yeah. Like,
That's fun. Or you just never get a chance to talk to these people again and be like, okay, that guy sucked. I'm just every time he comes in the gym, oh, that guy sucks.
yeah, and I actually think that that's a part that we talk about culture now is like that area of respect is like completely missing. Respect for the lifters around you, because a lot of lifters, if you respect them, especially like some of the more talented ones that have been around and done some stuff, they'll show you the same respect, if not more.
Oh yeah.
But there's just not that respect because of the whole "what have you done for me lately" that's in society right now, and that's what also gets lifters out, I think, so fast. It's very much like, oh yeah, well, what have you done? Well, I did this. Well, that was like how many years ago? Yeah, but I still fucking know how I got there.
My
Right, but
uncle
you still
used
had
to
to do the
bench
work to
press
get there.
700
Yeah.
pounds in high school. Like, well, good for your
Cool.
uncle.
What did you do?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I don't need to because
Yeah.
he benched so much.
Yeah, he just backed me up all the
Duh.
time. Oh, well,
Like Derek's world record, high school world record.
that they still
Yeah.
have hanging on the wall.
Yep. In high
Yeah.
school, just a big old bench.
What was it?
think it was-
335?
Yeah, so 315 or something like that. And I said, were your hips on the bench? He goes, oh, probably not. They're probably over the bar.
We called Derek's school
That
and
was so
asked
funny.
them. Mike pretended that he was like with the newspaper writing a fucking story about it. And they were like, because he said there was a plaque with his name on it in the fucking weight room. So the chick from the office at that school, because it's like 5 hours away,
It was awesome.
went to the weight room to look to see if it was still
she's
there.
like, can I go look? I said, no, that's fine. I got plenty of time. And
If it wasn't 5 hours away, we were gonna fucking drive there and get a picture with it.
I was like, I'm from the Early Morning Gazette or whatever I said. And she was like, oh, that's cool. His dad still works here. And I was like, oh, does he? Like, it was awesome. Just, it was great.
The best part is the food. It went there. His dad's so cool. He'd have been in on it with us.
Oh, yeah. We should just call him first.
Yeah.
He's your favorite son.
Yeah, I'm his favorite son. Yeah,
that
for sure.
that
yeah.
also. That
Yeah.
also.
I mean, I'm
was-
related, and Todd
yeah.
loves me.
Yeah, he's pretty cool dude.
But yeah, it's just like I said, the respecting what people have done, and how they got there. I think is also things I learned, like giving, and my big thing too is giving credit where credit's due. I think I learned that a long time ago because the way Louie and Dave Tate and like Ed are so freely helpful to people, and aren't just like, I did a fucking meet, so I'm going to charge everybody to program for them.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, if you ask
$1,000 for 2
you ask
weeks.
Dave to program or Ed to program, they're not going to write a program for you. They won't do it.
No.
I mean, I remember way back when I said something to Ed about it. He goes, "Write your own, and I'll look at it." And then he's,
Yeah, you'll learn.
one of the biggest things I learned from Ed:
Yeah.
write a program. It's 12 weeks. What are you really out?
Right.
He goes, "You're going to find out what works, and then what doesn't work." He goes, "Change one thing. Don't change a bunch of things, because then you're never going to know what's wrong."
Yeah.
But and that was the same way if you watch one of his seminars. He won't change your entire lift. He'll change one thing that'll have like a domino effect on like
Yeah.
10 other things. But
Yeah, accepting criticism from better lifters definitely helps. I mean, I don't think that when people would like critique me 10 years ago, I would really take serious about it. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Well, it feels good how I do this, like this way, so it's whatever. But seeing people that are stronger or whatever critique you, and you're like, well, they're not being assholes. I mean, we're doing the same shit. I'll just take I'll take your advice.
Right.
Try it. And I'll try it for like a year. Not like, oh, it didn't work that day. My bench went backwards. Like, no.
Right. Like I already missed this max effort lift for whatever reason. They gave me some advice. I'm gonna try it again. Oh, it didn't work. Fuck you. You're
Yeah,
wrong.
I'm a shit can the whole thing.
Yeah.
Your training doesn't work, man. I only ran for 12 weeks to get any stronger.
well,
Ran
the
for
best is like
a
I ran
year.
it for 6 weeks and that program sucked. Well, you didn't do it for the
well,
whole 12.
that's not
So
that's not the whole program.
I wasn't feeling good halfway through. Like, yeah, you got another whole half to feel better. I don't get it.
yeah, it's tight. Yeah, a lot of the patience thing is huge, and learning. You kind of learn how to do some research on who you can listen to and who you shouldn't listen to. And you're going to develop your opinions after a while.
Yep.
You're going to find a thing you like, and that's fine. You're going to find a system you like, whether it's that stupid fucking RPE thing.
This one you don't like. Okay, got it.
or like
Me neither.
anything that Mark Ripito does. I mean, actually, that program works. I just don't. He's not the super friendliest guy ever.
That sucks.
Or if you like conjugate, or if you like, you like linear, and you're gonna have. And I did it for a long time with like Westside. I just like, and not blindly because Louis had proved his point, but I just always did Westside. And somebody's like, you should do linear, and I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Why would I ever step away from Westside?
I mean, to be fair, the conjugate approach, I think, is just generally better for everybody. I mean, we can go down the whole nother rabbit hole, but you learn to not beat yourself up either. You can push hard some days, and you learn how to, some smart things to train around and still improve. And with you do like other programming, you just kind of run into a wall and you keep hitting it and hitting it and hitting it, and then hurting yourself. But conjugate gets some room. I mean, I didn't know much about it when I had first started. I watched them like on VHSs and stuff, like train, but I had no idea why they were doing certain things. Briefs on, briefs off, these bands, no bands. Like I didn't understand. But I think over time you start to learn again kind of what works for you, and you don't have to do all one thing or the other either.
Yeah, I mean that's that other life lesson. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Like you can do, and just because it works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for your friend. Mm-hmm. But you need to learn. And that's where you learn. Like, oh, I need to learn how things I can do, like accessories, to make this thing better. That's what I think are some of the biggest things I've learned.
Yeah, I just have so much fun training. It's just a blast, and I have different modes when I train. I think
Like beast mode.
hashtag beast mode or hashtag Gymshark. No, fuck.
Did you say shart?
Yeah, Gymshark.
Yeah,
That's my
Gymshark.
brand.
Yeah.
That's my brand.
Yeah, everything's brown.
Do it. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
everything's
great.
brown, so then they don't know if you shit yourself.
I don't even know where I was going to go with that.
They like training.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh,
you-
yeah. So
you like to watch other dudes strain.
Yeah. Totally.
Strain or train?
Both.
Both. Ooh.
Yeah. Whilst doing
Yes.
that, I get to be another dimension of myself that I can tap into and enjoy. That's not like professional. It's not like, I'm just someone else for a little bit, right? And
Yeah, beast mode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wouldn't you like if you were gonna do that? Wouldn't you try to be somebody that's gifted?
I know.
Well, he is
Yeah.
gifted, just
I'm special.
different gifted.
I'm special.
You should next time you do it, you should try to be someone that's good at lifting.
Especially in my basement when I can like train in my underwear and I'm the best air guitar player ever and I can headbang and just be obnoxious. I have so much fun doing that by myself.
Do you put a wig on the headbangs?
If I had one, I'd train in a head wig. You know, I want a fucking fog machine and lasers in my basement. That's what I really want.
Yes.
That sounds
like-
like another guy I know.
I know. And we've talked about it for a long time. And we've never committed to it.
And now you're moving.
But now you're moving. Now you,
And
can
now you
do
don't
it
have
in
a
the-
basement.
Now you can do it in the new house.
They didn't have a basement because you're gonna live in a fucking trailer.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you? You know better. It's going to be a sweet gym.
I don't know, I bet it's a trailer. It's probably like it's probably a treble wide, like
Living big.
The guy you're talking about was not the guy I was thinking about. I just realized I just caught on to that. That's not who I was thinking about.
yeah.
No. But
I've also learned that a lot of people aren't smart in the gym, so it's fine.
True. Yeah. Again, I just get to be me here for a moment. you
There's
know?
a reason a lot of people lift weights.
Father Ross, what about you? The whole question we've been talking about the whole time.
What's the biggest life lesson you've learned?
God is real.
That's true. I think just consistency and
Consistency in life,
Yep.
training for like 20 years. Yeah, that makes me feel good.
overall feeling.
Yeah, challenge.
So in general, training, like being strong, makes you more durable and more useful in just
Wasn't that
about
Ed's quote
everyday
that
thing.
somebody else stole? Strength is never a weakness.
Oh, that guy.
That's true.
Yeah, that was Ed's quote that somebody else stole.
I didn't
That's
know
fine.
that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it's a very
It's 100% true. Like there's been, I don't know. I've helped. The things that stick out to me is I've helped a number of friends do projects around their house with like building decks,
Oh, yeah, right.
putting in patios, doing stuff. But it's like these people that are probably in much better cardiovascular condition than myself, but yet we do these things, and I can generally, could outwork them.
Well, I think you hit that as lifters. Everybody thinks we're just like disgustingly out of shape. But we all know, like, when you're
Yeah.
like, say you're helping somebody move, like the first 20 minutes is terrible.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
once
you
you
get
get past your
groove.
anabolic
Yeah.
threshold, like I can go forever then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Once you get past that, like,
because nothing's taxing. Like it's heavy, but it's not like
because you remember the whole
hard.
thing is the stronger you are, the less muscle fibers it takes you
Yeah.
recruit to do something, so less oxygen you use.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, my heart rate's going to shoot through the roof for a hot minute, but then eventually to come down to somewhat normal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you just
my
keep
normal.
working. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a guy I worked with a couple years ago that he's now, I think he's about 67, and he started powerlifting when he was 60, and he didn't know really what he wanted to do in the gym to improve or to get in shape or whatever. And when we traveled together for work, I just said, "Hey, you should just come to the gym with me." And oh yeah, you got a runner? I'll take another one. Thank you, sir.
I stole that saying that you talked about your dad having that put some wheels on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've taken that as my own. So since we're blaming people for stealing things,
This guest arm is Father Ross coming in. There we go.
Guest arm. Thank you, sir.
see you, man.
See you, Ross.
So yeah, I was training this guy. Started when he was about 60, and it was in January he started. It was a whole like New Year's resolution
This
thing.
is Bill.
No, this is another guy. Bill was already.
How many
training when
people do you keep in your basement?
Yeah.
Lots.
Okay.
But the point of my story is just being stronger, being more generally useful. Is he was improving through the year, and we were talking about how he felt and stuff like that. But December comes around, and he was going to pull down his Christmas tree from like the highest part in his garage and like pull it down and then carry it down or upstairs or whatever he was doing. And he sends me a text that day. He was just like elated. He was like, "I did this by myself. I didn't have my sons come over. I overhead pressed this tree, got it down, and I carried it all the way upstairs, and I put the thing up. I just felt great." And I'm like, that's the simplest thing.
That's it.
But it's a form of feedback loop that you get that, damn, this worked.
Yeah.
I feel bad. He's like 20 years ago, I couldn't fucking do that by myself.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing it and I'm 20 years older. It's just awesome.
Yeah, that's my big takeaway. Would be my like one thing to pick. It's just like in general, I feel like I'm aside from some injuries, generally more durable, more useful when it comes to doing things like that. Like generally work needs to be done. They're like, oh, let me call Tom. He's a marathoner. He's gonna come over and help us move dirt in the backyard. No,
No, you won't.
they're gonna call us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and wasn't that
I don't
Dave,
want that phone call though.
Wasn't that Dave Tate
Wow.
that
It's a good thing you're moving because I got a shitload of dirt I'm going to move later this year.
wasn't that Dave Tate that talked about when you walk into a room you already command respect, but then it's what you say after that is what people are really going to think about you.
Dude, that is 100. So I work in a professional setting. I used to go out and meet with people at least once a week. I'd go out and make presentations to groups and brokers and stuff. I'd go out sometimes with other people, sometimes just like with myself and our sales folks and stuff. But there would be other people in the room much better spoken than me, smarter than me, like been in the game a lot longer. But when I'm in the room and I speak, before they hear me, but like I start talking and they start talking, like it's a totally different thing, right? Coming in at, I'm just under 6'4", but I'll say I'm 6'4". So at 6'4", 300 plus ish of like, yes, definitely there's a lot of butter on here, but still like relatively strong with muscle.
Get attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like that immediately changes the perspective. Like nobody cares how smart you are and stuff. Like that's not the first thing. Like you walk in, you are now a presence. So you have changed the dynamic most of the time for the better, sometimes for the worse.
Yeah.
But like you've changed that
Oh,
dynamic.
you think you're a badass?
Right.
I'm gonna kick this guy's ass because
yeah.
he's a badass.
I'm like,
yeah.
you probably are because I'm not much of a fighter. Done it a few times, not any fun. I'm good.
Probably broke something.
But yeah, like doing that. And that's honestly one thing I've talked to my wife about is like, would life be easier if I was 240 pounds? Like probably. I probably wouldn't need to take 400 milligrams of blood pressure meds and like hold my breath to
I
tie
don't
my
know if
shoe.
you'd feel better though.
I don't think I'd feel better at that, but it's also like,
You'd be so skinny and gross.
oh dude, just so disgusting.
I should give you my life plan. I'm really healthy.
I was gonna say though, as far as gyms go, and you walk in and he's here and he'll train here, obviously, but a gym owner that like believes in doing things in the gym, you know, it's evident that there's some people that own gyms and you're like, "Ooh, like this guy's a weasel, you know, like I can't learn anything from him, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. I mean, I've always really appreciated that in this gym is that, you know, you could do a meet in 3 weeks and kick a lot of people's asses if you wanted to, right? I mean, there's a lot of people that own gyms or say they're committed to the community and they're just like fitness dorks and they're really not good at any of it.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts.
Well, I think that's like things I've learned out of like businesses. You determine how successful someone wants their business to be is by how much they're involved in it. And I'm not saying forever, but you see the real successful businesses and you talk to people,
That's a good point.
you talk to the people that were in it and, you know, they were there like open to close. They were there on their day off, making sure people were there. They were always trying to do things to, you know, to make it better, to improve like customer experience, whatever. And that's what I learned from people. Would always tell me like, you know, we like that you're here, you know, because like we can actually ask like the owner a question, or we can
You got the best handouts.
ask you training questions, and like, and I've been lucky, like we talked about before, I've been lucky enough to be around like almost every strength sport that I have,
Yeah.
like a jack of all trades. Obviously not a master of all of them, but I can give out enough information to help people out. But you have other gym owners that their gyms aren't staffed or whatever, and it's just like, or if you want to talk to them, you got to pay for their time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and there's the old quote that everybody should always remember too: "Big ain't strong, strong is strong."
That was my favorite shirt you ever made.
Yes, and I'll probably bring that one back around again. That was good.
That
but
was like,
just because someone's bigger than you doesn't mean they're stronger than you. So don't ever get discouraged by
yeah.
that. Just like how.
we were at the zoo for one of those adult nights that we went out to.
Oh yeah, the brew at the
now.
zoo.
Yeah, and so we were out there, right? And Drew was out. One of Drew's friends was there. He ran into him, or coworker or something like that. And this guy comes up to Drew.
No,
And
that was
he's
just some guy that saw him on Instagram.
no, because it was someone that
Well,
because they came up
he's
because they
famous?
asked her like because they were asking about me. They were talking to Drew, and he's like, "Oh, who's that guy?" Like, "Oh, that's
Oh.
Matt." And they're like, "Oh, dude, I bet what's his total? Like, he's got to just crush you." And
But
Drew's-
you're talking
and
to
Drew's-
Drew.
and Drew's like, "No, I'm actually significantly stronger."
Yeah,
he's
oh,
like,
yeah.
"No way." He was like, "Shut up, Drew. Fuck off."
Because I remember because
Oh, that's awesome.
Drew's Instagram handle is he ain't heavy.
Yeah.
And that was an old Boys Town story.
Yeah.
When Drew was working at Boys Town, and that guy
I
walks
don't
up
know
to
the
him.
story. I need to hear the story.
It goes way back to the day where weren't they carrying one of the other guys? And
Yeah,
they kept
so
carrying him and just said,
they
"He ain't
like
heavy."
they were working. There was two kids that were like either like on the streets or something, but either one of them had like busted legs and in braces, something, couldn't walk. And so the other brother carried that brother on his back to go to Boys Town. 'Cause he's like, hey, if we can make it to Boys Town, we
awesome.
can get help and stuff there. And he comes up there, and one of the, maybe it was Flanagan was the story, Father Flanagan was there, and said, oh, hey, yeah, come on in. But like, hey, let me, help you carry your brother. He's got to be heavy. And he's like, no, he's my brother. He ain't heavy.
That's awesome.
So that was Drew's Instagram handle
Damn,
because
that's
he
a
was
cool
a child
story.
psychologist there. And then we're at the brew at the zoo one night, and this guy walks up. He's like, hey, is that Haint Heavy? Because he had like all one thing. And I was like, Drew starts laughing. He goes, yeah. And then they look at me and they're like, and that's the guy that owns the gym. And then we're walking away, and Drew and I are laughing. I go, you probably need to put like a period or like an underscore in there to fucking divide that thing up.
Ain't heavy.
Yeah, is that him? Haint Heavy? But yeah, that's just more, like I said, you just learn about great people in the gym. And
Are you famous on Instagram?
Am I?
Yeah. I mean, what's
Um,
famous?
I don't know. Me and they were talking about the meet, and they called Ed and I legends. So I don't know what they meant about me, but
Whoa, who called you a legend?
I don't know. Zach Henson was like,
Well, a
getting into
friend
it.
that calls you a legend. Come on now.
he was getting in it with some guy, getting into it, and he was like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't need a couple of legends to judge me. And I was like, whoa, thank you.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Right on.
So other than that, no, I don't think that, no.
He's probably talking about Danny.
Yeah, probably. Danny Thurman is a fucking legend, so
The funniest, fucking strongest little bench dude ever. Fucking great.
yeah.
I love his hands up. Got it.
You know, when Bill had a ponytail, he was more legendary.
Yeah, and then he had the heart attack, and then he quit lifting. But anyway.
He didn't die. He didn't die.
Yeah, he didn't quit lifting because he died. But yeah, other than that, I think there's a ton of life lessons you can learn from team sports in general. Like Matt said, no matter what it is, but most of ours we learn from the gym. But go be a part of a team sport and actually like try to be good at it. And if someone tells you you're good at it and they keep telling you you're good at it, they're probably lying to you.
You know, as much as I used to really enjoy powerlifting and getting ready for a meet because it was an individual sport, it's far from that. And I learned that later on down the road. Like, you're ultimately responsible for what you do, how you train, how you eat, how you recover, all that stuff. But to get better, you really do need to have other people objectively look at how you train and what you're doing, and to have feedback. And it does turn into a team sport. You know, that's
Oh, for sure. That's the only way you're really going to get better.
yeah. There's just the whole individual thing. I mean, there's some people at a meet that are just anomalies that just sit there and like have a glass of water.
Yeah, but
there was a
they're probably
Russian
the
guy.
flash in the pan, folks.
Well, yeah, I wish I would have known this guy, but this, Sorensen down, like the shitty Sorensen
Yeah.
gym, right? They used to have a couple meets over there.
Yep, I did. That's where I did my very first meet.
That was one of, well, yeah, it was, I think my first when I moved back to Nebraska anyway. And there was a guy over there by himself. He's big as fucking jack dude, young, from Russia, didn't speak hardly any English, and he was just walking around. He was drinking Mountain Dews and smoking cigarettes inside. Like, he smoked a cigarette inside, and like, hey, take that out. And he was like, oh, hold on, training. Like, and like he just like it was amazing. He didn't really give a shit, but he was by himself, and he squatted. Oh God, it was over 6, right? And it was like in some sleeves, and he deadlifted over 7 and benched like 5 or somewhere in there. The most impressive dude, but he was so kind to everybody. And he helped everybody else out to the point where he missed his opener on his bench, I think, because he wasn't there because he was helping like somebody show him how to wrap their knees, right? And it was super cool. He's like, oh, I don't care. I got 2 more tries. Like, he was just so cool about it, But he was there by himself, and he was just giving all of his time, and he was a good athlete to everybody else. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many great people in it that just if you actually show respect to some of these people, they'll help you till the end of time.
Yeah.
You going to help me move?
Nope,
Cool.
busy that day. Busy
I'll
doing
bring
a
my
pod-
tractor over. Where can I move with the tractor?
You can start driving it to Texas.
Are you going to leave that fridge in your garage since you never gave me my Traeger?
No, taking that.
You don't have a garage. You
Yeah.
live in a rental.
You don't have a
That
basement.
rental's going to be packed with shit. So.
Yeah, and then you're gonna move
Yeah,
to a
so you
trailer.
might as well leave the fridge
Oh,
here.
so now we're close friends, and you want to take all my shit while I'm
No, I'm
moving?
just saying you stole me a fucking Traeger.
It's right there.
Yeah, you're gonna move to that treble wide. All right, guys. Thank everybody for listening. As always, sponsored by the real Midwest Mecca, Omaha Barbell. Go ahead and follow our podcast, subscribe to it. We're on all audio platforms, also on YouTube, soon to be on Rumble. Thanks for listening. Hopefully you learned something. We'll see you next time.